Good morning, Tehmina Khan is here in TKMaths is Fun. In today's video, we will solve a question on mechanics, which is a part of the syllabus of A-level mathematics. This question involves ramp, friction, concept of all these, right? Friction, force, momentum. So it has various concepts in it, and I hope it will be a good revision for all these concepts. So let's see part 1 first, part A. Right, I'm showing the whole question, but I will focus on part A first. Okay, so now if you see here, this ramp picture is given to you. In the first paragraph, it is described what is drawn here. Important thing I have underlined here. So particle P, which is here on the top, it is released from rest, right? The first line is mentioned here. Then it is covering a distance of 2.5 meter and reach at this point on the horizontal plane. Now there is particle Q which has weight 0.2 kg and it is at rest. On the horizontal plane 1.5 meter. Now P is colliding directly with Q. So when this particle P will come here, then it will collide with this. Okay. And you have to find the speed of Q after the collision. So when this particle P will come and hit it, then at what speed Q will start moving. This is what you have to find out. So let's start. I am drawing this diagram here again because question has given one very important information. If you see second line, there is no change in speed when P reaches the horizontal plane. So that's why I need to find out the speed of this particle when it reaches here. For that, what I'm using Newton's second law of motion. Okay, now if you see here where I have done resolving this particle weight, which is 3 Newton, into horizontal and vertical component along with plane, right? So you can see here this line is 3 cos 30 and this is 3 sin 30. I'm sure you know that. So now when I'm applying F is equals to ma, Newton's second law of motion, so forward force with which it is coming down is 3 sin 30. There is no backward force because it was written in the question the plane was smooth, right? So there is no friction, nothing. So it's only the forward force. So force is 3 sin 30, mass is 0.3 and A I have found out 5 meter per second square. So now I know the acceleration and I can easily find out now the velocity with which the particle will come here. Which formula I will use? Do you remember that? Right now I have the information. Initial velocity is 0. Final velocity I have to find out. I'm repeating. Initial velocity was here. I don't know. Sorry, it was 0 because it was at rest. So sorry. And this I have to find out. Distance is 2.5 and acceleration we have just found is what? 5 meter per second, right? We have just found it here. So which formula, constant acceleration formula, you can apply here? So V square equals to U square plus 2AS. So solving this will give you that velocity of particle P will be, let me write here P, velocity of P will be 5 meter per second. So when it will reach here at this point, the velocity will be this. Now I will apply the concept of law of conservation of momentum. And what is that? If you remember, what does it say? It says the before collision and after collision, the momentum is same, right? Law of conservation of momentum, it does not change, it remains same. And you know momentum is what? Mass into velocity. Agreed? So now I'm writing before collision and after collision. Diagram you will keep in your mind. So before collision I'm talking about particle P and particle Q. Now here it is. MP VP plus MQ VQ. So before collision. And what is their velocities at that time? And mass is constant. It is here. You can notice here. For particle P, the mass is 0.3 and velocity was 5 meter per second. We have just found. And for particle Q, mass is 0.2 and velocity is 0 because it was at rest. And then what happened after the collision? If you see here, after the collision, mass of P is 2, which is given to you in the question here. You can see here this line because it was written after the collision P continues moving in the same direction, because sometimes what happen, When the particle collide, it reverses. So that depends on the question what is it given. So right now it is moving in the same direction. So particle P will keep moving here, and of course after the hit, Q will also start moving. So now when we are substituting here the value, this value, velocity we have to find out. So now easily I can calculate the velocity of Q, which is 4.5 meter per second. And what is the velocity of P after the hit? 2. So that's why Q is moving ahead of it. Now let's see part 2. I have drawn the diagram here again to explain it to you. So part 2 is saying that it is given instead that the horizontal plane is rough. So now this plane, this horizontal plane is rough now. So there will be what? Friction, definitely. So when P and Q collides, situation is changing now. They coalesce, means they will combine. Like I have drawn here diagram for you, you can see they will combine and then move together. And they will move with the speed of 1.2 meter per second. So what will happen after the collision is given to you here. Masses will add up because now they are combining, they will be together. So 0.3 plus 0.2 will be 0.5, okay, because their mass will be together now. So it will be 0.5 and their velocity is 1.2. I have to find the coefficient of friction between P and the horizontal plane. So how we will find that out? Let's see here. So again, according to the law of conservation of momentum, before collision and after collision, it will be same, right? So if I see here, diagram you can keep in front of you. With respect to P here, velocity was what here? When it reached here, it was 5. But you don't know what it was before hitting the before hitting Q, because now the surface is rough. So by the time it will come from here to here, the velocity will reduce. Agreed? So now I will find out this velocity also with which it is reducing. So let's see here. See here. Okay. So this is the mass and this is the velocity of P before collision, right? And mass of Q is 0.2 and it was at rest. Now when they are combined, it is 0.3 and 0.2, which is 0.5, and the velocity is 1.2. Okay, so now it will be, why did I write here Vp? Because I don't know before collision what was the velocity here, that I have to find out. Okay, so when I just solve it, I got velocity of P is 2 meter per second. So before collision here at the point Q, the velocity of P was 2 meter per second. Okay, now we know, let me show you the diagram here again. Okay, so now you know that before collision here, the velocity was 2 meter per second. When it started from here, it was 5 meter per second. Okay, so now you have to find out mu, which is coefficient of friction. So if you see this horizontal line, which is horizontal plane basically, I have drawn here. So now what is happening, this particle P, it has no forward motion, forward force, right, which is 0. But backward force is what? Mu r, and that's why speed is slowing down also. So now what you will do? Anything coming in your mind? You have to find out the acceleration first. So I am finding out acceleration here with the help of constant acceleration formula. And you can see here v square is 2, which was this point here before collision, and u is at this point, the speed, and everything is same, distance is 1.5. So I can easily find out the acceleration, and it should be negative. Fine, because it is slowing down, that is the indication of it. So now what I will do, I will write Newton's second law of motion, F is equals to ma. So this is your forward force minus mu r, because resultant force, how do we find out? By the subtraction here, right? So forward force minus frictional force is equals to ma. Now forward force is 0, so I will write here 0 minus mu r. Mu I have to find out. How did I get r? Because the weight of particle P here was 0.3 g, which is 3 Newton. So same is the resultant force here, because it is according to the third law of Newton's third law of motion, right? Equal and opposite forces. So that's why I'm writing here r 0.3 g. So after that I'm simply solving it to get the value of mu. I hope you will understand it. If you have any query, please write down in the comments. I would be very happy to solve your problem. Thank you very much. Please share it with your friends. Take care. Allah Hafiz.